We have been studying what? What have we been studying?
Indians. Native Americans.
Native Americans. And what kind of art are we making that's Native American inspired? All right, we're making our dream catchers. So we're identifying works of art used in various cultures. And we learned last week that one of our very own classmates is part Native American, and she brought in something that she wants to share with us. So we're going to be respectful and responsible and give Apache our full attention, because remember, we have not one, but two paws at stake. All right, Apache, come on in, sweetie. So she's doing a dance that she was taught by her family. That's a traditional Native American dance. And Apache, do you want to tell us a little bit about the dance and your outfit?
Yes. That dance was part of the Cherokee tribe. The Cherokee tribe dance that they used to do. And this outfit is made out of leather because back then they didn't have like sewing machines and like all the stuff that we have now. So they had a hunt. They had a hunt for animals, and they carved the skin off, and they made it into these beautiful little outfits. And they they really didn't have metal back then, but these are made out of these little cans that they used to find all over the ground.
So maybe like some tin cans that were tossed to the side or left behind. Cool.
And this leather comes from deer.
So does anyone know what another name for deer leather is?
Skin leather?
You can call it a hide. So oftentimes they call it animal hides, and that's a lot of the Native American clothes were made out of the hides, and they made a lot of backpacks and different things to carry like their arrows and their food and all their belongings in. So Apache, where did you get this cool outfit?
Well, actually, it actually got passed down as a family tradition.
So it's a family tradition. Do you have to be a certain age to get it, or is it a certain time of year, just like when mom and dad think you're ready?
It's like whenever your parents think you're ready.
That's cool. So when did you get your outfit?
I got it whenever I was about 5 or 6.
Wow. Do you remember, like, did they give it to you in a box, or did you guys have, like, a little celebration at your house?
For my birthday.
For your birthday. That's wonderful. Raise your hand if maybe you have, like, a tradition like this in your family. Anybody else have a tradition where you get something cool? Xavier?
My great-great-grandpa, he used to play football, and he signed it on his football, and he's been passing it down ever since.
That's neat. So who has it now?
My cousin.
Cool. My family, when you turn 16, your mom gives you a very special necklace that we've been passing around. So I've still got that, and I'm holding on to it until Holly turns 16. Anybody else have anything like that? All right, so Apache, what side of your family is Native American? Is it your mom's side or your dad's side?
My dad's.
Your dad's. All right, so is he 100%, or like was he raised that way?
He was like sort of raised that way.
Do you have any other traditions that you want to share? Is there something that you do, like a certain holiday or kind of celebration, maybe a story that you guys tell?
I know a bunch of stories.
Do you want to share maybe one of your favorite legends or stories with us?
Yeah.
Okay. 5,000. Jaden, please stop. We're trying to be respectful and show her that we're going to be responsible and respectful, okay? Thank you.
One story is about a flute maker.
A flute maker, okay. So, do you know what the flutes were made of for the Native Americans?
Wood.
They used wood. They would hollow out wood, and then they could put little holes in it. And then I have a clay one that I can actually bring in, and it looks like a little bird, and you blow into it kind of like a kazoo, and you can play on its feather, and it goes woo-doo-woo-doo-woo. So, she's going to tell us the story of a wooden flute. You would use a bigger stick, yeah. All right, go ahead, Apache. Let's hear this story.
Okay. There's this Native American, and he was a Hamakison.
Hamakison? Okay. What's that? Is that a type of tribe?
Yeah.
Okay, a Hamakison.
And a wife named, I think it was, Flame Girl, and he had a son named Yellowwing.
Okay, so Flame Girl and Yellowwing.
And one time his wife left him because he had a very dangerous job to do. He had to hunt and he had to fight for wars. And so he heard this beautiful sound whenever the wind started howling. And he looked everywhere, but he could not find it. And so one morning, he fell asleep by a tree. And one morning the wind was blowing, and he heard the sound. And it sounded like it was coming from above him. He looked up, and there was this branch with holes from caterpillars and everything. And whenever the wind blew, the flute started playing. So he took it. So he looked at it. He looked at the tree, and he started climbing the tree, and then took the branch and started playing it. He walked and played the loneliness of his heart because his wife and son has left him.
Oh.
So he walked and walked for miles, and let's just say he walked until he found a stream. He found fish, and he had bows, and he killed and cooked and ate the fish. And he started playing the flute for the loneliness he had, and there was a stream, and over there and on the other side was his house, and he never thought he would make it this far. And his wife and son was on the other side, and they were so happy to see him. They were so happy to see him, and he told them the journey that he have had, and everything that's come and past.
Cool. So he learned about the flute because he found the branch. What had eaten holes into the branch? Alejandra? Yeah, some caterpillars had eaten holes in it. So that's really cool. That's how flutes came around. Like that. Does anybody have any questions for Apache? Jaden?
Never.
Claudia?
Where were you born?
Columbus?
Is your dad from around here? His family? Do you know where they originated?
Well, he was born in Columbus, but you don't have to be born in you can be born in certain places to be an Indian. And people think you have to be born in India or Africa.
Okay.
But you can be born in different continents.
Well, yeah, and we learned in that video last week, remember, that there were Indians all over the United States. So I didn't know if you knew what state his family originally came from, if it was like Nevada or New Mexico or something.
He came from the same place I came from.
Columbus. Okay. Jaden, do you remember your question now? Okay. Logan?
Who told you all the stories? My mom and my dad. They came from different family traditions.
Cool. All right, Alejandra?
Did you guys ever have a family vacation and went to hunting or something like that? No.
Have you gone to visit a reservation with your family? Cool. Where was that at?
It was in North Dakota.
Neat. So what kind of houses did they live in when you went there?
They built these little teepees and showed traditions about Indians, and they did a little dance.
Wow. So is that where you learned some of your cool dances? Mm-hmm. Neat. All right, Grace? How many traditions do you have? Do you think it's more than you could count? Probably. All right, Haley?
I really went to any Princess Indians. No, not that I know of.
That might be something to ask your mom and dad when you go home, see if you can trace back. Okay, Damon?
You
Well,
don't know a lot.
remember the word that she taught us last week? Does anyone remember? Let's see. Jaden?
Washti?
Yeah, washti. And what does washti mean again?
Good dreams?
Yeah, good dreams for our dream catcher. So that's cool. Claudia?
Do you know what other dances? I know one or two maybe.
Okay, one or two. Kaylin?
No, Washti is probably the most I can get to.
Okay.
Because I don't have it in here.
Maybe, if you want to ask like mom and dad a favorite word like flower or sunshine or something happy, and maybe they could help us figure that out. You and I can get on the iPad and Google it in a little bit too. So I could do that for everyone. Damon? Okay, Alejandro. We'll have her dance on her way out in a minute because we got to get back to our project in just a second. Alex?
I don't know the dance.
You want her to tell us another story? How about at the end of class? Because I want to make sure we're staying on track with this. So at the end of class, would you be willing to share another story with us? Awesome. All right. Danny, did you have a question? Do you speak other languages?
No, but I can write in another language.
Which language is that? You can write in Chinese? Cool. Look at all the things we're learning about our classmate. Damon? Hold on, we can't hear Damon's question. We're being responsible and giving him the floor. Or respectful. Okay, so maybe if mom and dad have like a poem or something they could share. All right, Angel, last question.
Is her name
Well, Apache isn't, it's English, yes, and it's just her native tribe. And you're Cherokee, correct? Okay.
If you know Geronimo, he was the Apache Indian.
So maybe that's something I could look up to share with the class too. This is really fun.
Now I know how she got her name.
Yeah, you do. All right, we're going to let Apache dance on out, and I would like us to responsibly go back to our seats and continue to work on the front and the back of our... All right, thank you, sweetie. Are you done painting? There she goes. Ay, 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 ay. And what do we say to Apache for sharing with us?
Do you know how to write prisoner in Chinese?
No. Do you? Well, that's scary. Let's hope that you never, ever have to write that, okay?
I know.
What? You know how to make a spider web? Well, that's kind of what we're going to be doing in just a minute when we're done painting our
But it's different.
frames. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your design on there? What were you inspired by to do those shapes?
They're up here, and I want to do these, and I want to do like arrows coming out and say what Jaden said.
I like the colors a lot, and this looks a lot like the patterns that I see up on that. So you're doing a really good job noticing those. Haley? You're related to Pocahontas? Oh my gosh, let's tell Apache. That's pretty cool. So do you have any Indian traditions that you want to share with us? Or stories? Maybe you can ask mom and dad this.
My dad's side, but my mom and brother isn't. It's just me, my sister, and my dad.
Well, maybe you could ask them for like a legend or a story, because I think everybody's really into sharing those. That could be cool. Well, Christopher, did you see Kaylin waiting here? So we need to be respectful, okay? So I've got a few Cherokee children in here. That's exciting. You should ask them some stories about that. All right, Christopher, what was your question now, sweetie? Yes, she was. And she's the most famous one because she kind of helped make sure that the European settlers that came over and the Indians were able to get along. All right, let's go make sure that we're working on the front and the back.
I'm pretty sure my dad is here.
Ask mom and dad, because it would be, maybe we could do a survey next week and see how many people.
Because he said, I think he is, because his grandma, if you put like feathers in the stuff that Indian where she would love pizza and like
All right, ask them and maybe you can come with some cool stories next week. I like the color you're adding on there, Damon. So yours is like a little sweetheart. I didn't know you were putting coral on there. I thought you were just doing those colors.
I just did it, whatever. So I called it ocean coral.
So Nahabi, do you want to tell me a little bit about your design?
I'm gonna do
What made you
like-
choose those shapes?